This relatable. So, Mark, did you cheat on your application to get into tech? Cool, that's very admirable of you. I can't say that I necessarily cheated, but I kind of crossed the little boundaries. I kind of blame tech. So, mistake number one they made on their application was they put the work experience on there. So I didn't really have anything too big. I mean, I babysitted a couple times, but there was this one day, where I worked for an hourly wage. It was 8 hours, but I got to put the entire thing on there. I was like, I worked the day before Thanksgiving. I worked in April. Like, I really just milked all it's what was worth. I'll get back to you how much I milked it later. Number two, they put how many hours you did a week rather than how many total hours you did. Well, I only worked 8 hours, but I could put 8 hours a week for an entire month. That's a ton more than anything. I guess that's 4 or 5 times more than what I actually did. Now, the third mistake that they made was they gave me a nice box where I could just put whatever I wanted and explain how awesome my 8 hours was. So the manager, he told us afterwards, "Hey, you guys did great. We're we raised sales up $4,000 since last year." I'm like, wow, last year they didn't have me. So you know what? I raised the revenue $4,000 since last year. So I'm pretty sure that's why I made it into tech. And maybe I don't belong here.
I'm Bradley.
Hey Bradley, I'm Caleb.
So Caleb, one of the things I did think you did really well was you moved, you were dynamic, you kept my attention as you were moving across the stage. And then also you numbered your speech. That made it easier for me to follow. You said 1, you said 2, I don't know if you had a third point.
I believe I did.
Oh, you had a third point. You also had good hand gestures, especially as your speech progressed. You started varying them. At the beginning you were kind of just, just pulling apart from together, but then you really started, I can't remember exactly what this was correlated to, but you started doing other things like that. Areas of improvement, you're pretty good in everything. I just had a question. Were you nervous at all?
Very.
Because I could tell with your breathing. You're like, I could just hear you were nervous.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure exactly how to combat nervousness, but I guess just with more practice, you'll just be more used to talking in front of people.
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
No, I mean, you've vastly improved since I remember last week when you gave a speech. Midway through, you just started laughing. This time you went the whole 2 minutes. So I think that's something that we're working on that. That's very good. What else would you say is an area of improvement or opportunity?
Oh, besides, there wasn't really much else. I know it's an impromptu. How many impromptus have you done before?
Not
Number
too
2.
Not too many.
So are you the best at thinking on your feet?
No.
So I guess with practice again, but I could just tell you're really thinking your way through it for you.
I mean, like, I actually planned it out. When I went to the bathroom, I just kind of wrote out like an outline. So I had some things that I had to say, but like. So are you trying to get like that I was good at it?
You were good.
Did I give off the perception that I'm really good at thinking on my feet? Or
You were good at thinking on your feet, but I got the impression that you were still figuring some things out as you were saying them.
okay.
So I would say
That was
vastly have improved since last week. I think, Mark, you were here last week as well. I think that's a great improvement you've had. So just taking it to the next step before. So I think very good on that. Justin?
Yeah, I've got a question. Noah, you mentioned one time that there's a magic number of hours that you go up there, maybe it's a range. I think it was in the 20s, that of pure public speaking, you'll start to lose that nervousness.
Yeah, it's 20 hours.
20 hours. So I think a lot of what we're just saying here, that will come with that 20 hours. You'll start to lose some of the fillers. Those are easy fixes. So the ums, the uhs. Once that starts going away, you're doing a lot of things right. Like Bradley said, your hand gestures and everything. So just keep coming and get closer and closer to that 20 hours.
Just to experience everything. It's better that, I mean, yes, like I actually couldn't even hear you breathe in a sense of nervousness, but like rather it was up front, so more so. But it's better to do that compared to, laughing last time. So that's an improvement.
I mean, the structure was good. It helped your speech. Yes, Mike?
Yeah, just to kind of add on to that, we're all kind of nervous when we go up there. I mean, I think we all share a little bit of that. And I like, even though how you might have been nervous, you almost tried to hide it with confidence. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you've heard the saying, fake it until you
Make it.
make it. Well, there's another saying when it comes to public speaking, which is fake it until you become it. And that's the idea that if you exude confidence, then you become confident. And I mean, that's an idea. You've heard Muhammad Ali yell, "I am the champion," right? Before he was a champion. But he told himself so many times he was a champion that what happened? Well, he became what?
And champion.
Right? And so that's the idea that certainly works with public speaking. And I think that's what's helped me. And that's something that I hope each and every one of you can take in your journeys to public speaking.
Just to add on to what Marty said, there's actually a video by Amy Cuddy. It's a TED Talk called Fake It Till You Make It, something like that.
Okay.
And it talks about how it goes and how to help you confident. So I'll email that to you. So watch that and everything.
But I would say, I mean, it's a great improvement from last week. Last week you had all the tools. Now you're up here and you're speaking, and that's something that you should be applauded for. Yes, Reyes?
One thing that you do very well is smile. You are smiling the whole time. You use excellent facial expressions, and you have eyebrows that are just the most expressive I've seen in a long time. So that was excellent. But you had a potential for a joke. It was right there. And because your facial expressions were so good, it actually fell flat. You said, you could cheat the system a little bit. You felt like you didn't necessarily follow tech's application procedure as it could have been, and then you said, "I blame tech." But you said it with the exact same tone, the exact same facial expression. I didn't realize it was a joke, and it may or may not be a joke, but you could have just said very seriously, you could have been like, "Yeah, they have all these things wrong with their application process, and I don't really like it. I blame tech." And just get really serious all of a sudden. And that's ironic, it's unexpected. And if you sense that opportunity, it's a difficult thing to sense necessarily, that's how you create humor. It's a jarring break from what you were just doing. So to wrap that up, if you know that you have a little funny punchline or something to say, and you're not sure the best way to deliver it, try to just suddenly change everything about your body movement and your gestures and your facial expression, and drop it. Just boom, punchline. So that's something you can work on because you naturally gravitated towards that.
Okay.
Yes, Marty?
Right, just to kind of finalize it. I liked your examples. You had 3 very structured, very organized examples, which is perfect. What I wish you had done, though, is kind of give something to the audience to take away. Maybe a life lesson, maybe the idea that, well, I did this, but none of us are perfect. And 1, 2, 3, you see what I'm saying? Like 1, 2, 3, these are examples of how I'm not perfect. Or maybe something that the audience can really feel and really understand that we can utilize later. Because in the beginning, you asked the question, who here has cheated on their application, right? And there are a lot of really good souls in here. But that's the idea that, they might not have had the same experiences, but you can give them an idea, maybe a concept that they can still take away from, and they can still learn from the experiences that you've had.
Okay.
Exactly. And that's content, so that's a way to style it to make it more impactful to the audience. But from the style aspect, the main thing is just continuing confidence, continuing improvement. Good job, Caleb. Who wants to go next? Mark, do you want to? Or
Well, if anybody else wants to.
Shreyas?
Who wants to evaluate Shreyas?